Hello everybody, welcome back once again to JJ's PC Builds. You know, it's JJ with you once again. I'm here with Mr. Machine on the other side of the phone. Say hi, Mr. Machine.
Hello.
See, we got him right there. So, before we get going, just make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and the notification bell so you help the channel out. Tonight, we're going to talk about something that's been building for months. Something that's been whispered in forums, hinted as in, like in-call earning, those earning calls, and quietly acknowledged by analysts that is, who know exactly how deep this goes. You know what I'm talking about, Machine?
Mm-hmm.
It's called NVIDIA. Isn't just delaying the next generation GeForce launch, they're postponing it on purpose. And also too, they're postponing it with purpose. So, and the reason behind it is a bigger, darker, more strategic than anything we've seen in the GPU market in the last decade, other than the dot-com bust. But anyway, this isn't a simple delay. This isn't a calculate. Well, I could say this isn't a simple delay, guys. This is a calculated move. I was about to say it wasn't, but it kind of feels like it is. A move that tells you exactly where NVIDIA is heading and exactly where gaming stands in their long-term plan. I don't think I can be bribed enough for me to even say that, But the silence speaks volumes, guys. NVIDIA hasn't announced the GeForce architecture for 2026. No teasers, no leaks, no staged accidental reveals, nothing. Except for reviewer leaks that they say they know somebody, which truthfully, they've been wrong every time I've been saying. Everybody stands behind them and say, oh yeah, that dude just got it right the whole time. The fuck he did. He didn't get shit right. So that's the reason why I don't believe in the leaks anymore, because the leaks are like me peeing in the toilet. Don't forget your drink and snacks, by the way. What do you think, Machine?
Yeah, drinking snacks are important.
Well, if you think about it, when has NVIDIA actually said something about a launch other than the 3060?
Yeah,
They haven't
they
said.
don't have the 50/50 launch.
Oh yeah, but that was a while back.
Yeah.
I don't see them talking about the Super Series launch.
Yeah.
I don't see them talking about the 60 series launch, other than telling AIB partners, don't launch the cards just yet because we're waiting for something. They're waiting to screw the public, of course. And don't feel bad, it's not just NVIDIA, it's AMD too. So, and when a company that thrives on hype goes silent, it's not an accident, it's a signal. A signal that something massive is happening behind the scenes. Okay, let's say the first layer. Did I lose connection? Hold on. YouTube is not receiving enough to maintain it smooth.
Yeah, it's
Whoa. Give it a minute to stabilize a little bit. Must be my internet. I gotta change my glasses because I got something wrong with my glasses. There. That's a little bit better. Now I can see a little bit better. Hello there, Darity. Good to see you. Good to see you. Now I got the stream all balanced and everything else. We should be all right. Hopefully, we'll be okay. But good to see you once again. Are you speaking of Moore's Law there, JJ? No, I'm not. Not speaking of Moore's Law. I'm speaking of the fact of NVIDIA delaying, how can I say this? NVIDIA delaying the tactics of launching the Super Series and the 60 Series. Okay, the reason why they're delaying it is because of the chips, the VRAM chips. They're thinking since they bought it at such a low price that they're waiting for it to rise even more before they punch us in the gut and say, here you go, here's your new price, deal with it. So, no point releasing new GPUs, GTA 6 taking over in 2027. Yeah, probably. Hello there, Dr. Blitz. Good to see you. Hey, Machine, dare to ask if how you're doing as well.
I'm doing good.
There you go, Darity. You got the answer of Mr. Machine. His eyeballs are captivated on a different screen. Had to throw that in there, man.
Playing some Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
I'll be off it here in just a minute.
Well, let's talk about the first layer. You got time, man. Let's talk about the first layer. AI has consumed the supply chain. Let's start with the obvious. Not unless they cut my internet again. But not the whole story. We'll talk with the obvious. Okay. AI demand has exploded beyond anything the gaming market has ever seen. Hyperscalers are buying GPUs by the tens of thousands. AI startups are buying them by the hundreds. And every one of those chips need HBM. And if you don't know what HBM is, it's high bandwidth memory. GDDR7, which goes in our new 50 series graphics cards. Advanced packaging, of course, and TSMC wafer allocation. Gaming GPUs, that's a big question right now. They're not the priority anymore. The gamers and the PC community is not the priority anymore. NVIDIA is feeding the AI market with everything they have. Every wafer, every memory module, every packaging line. This alone would justify a big delay. But this isn't the real plot. This is just the surface. Okay, now let's get into the second layer of this staboggle. NVIDIA is financializing GPUs. This is where the story gets wild, basically. Wall Street has entered the GPU market, not as buyers, but as lenders. They're treating NVIDIA hardware like a mortgage collateral. Not metaphorically, literally. The machine knows about this. BlackRock, Blackstone, Apollo, Brookfield, Goldman Sachs, KKR, the biggest financial institutions on earth, have signed an agreement to finance over $500 billion in AI infrastructure. Is it collateral? The GPU themselves, maybe? Who knows? This means NVIDIA hardware is now an asset class, not a product. Get that. And when your hardware becomes collateral, you don't launch a new generation lightly. No. Because now you can take your GPU, go over there to the lenders and say, hey, I want to put a lien against my GPU. Can you hook me up? Oh, this is getting more stupider each day, when it comes to these companies. A new generation devalues the collateral behind the billions in loans. That's the plot nobody is talking about, believe it or not. Now let's get into the third layer. NVIDIA cannot undercut their own collateral. If NVIDIA launches a new GeForce architectures too soon, it risks collapsing the value of the previous generation that they put a lien on. The same generation that's currently being used to secure massive financing deals. The one where they mortgage their GPU instead of their house. I want you guys to think about it for a moment and seriously think about it. You see the new GTA. Yeah, I've seen the leaks there, Dr. Blitz. I've seen the leaks. But it's not really looking good. It's not really looking appealing to me. Especially the kind of hardware you're going to need to run it anyway. So, I mean, it's a lose-lose situation at this point in time, because if I don't have a strong enough GPU that's going to end up running it anyway, and plus they'll probably not even bring it to PC, so I'm not really worried about it. Back to the story. If NVIDIA releases a new architecture, the value of existing chips will drop. Collateral behind the loans will drop. The lenders will panic, financial model will collapse, and the entire AI hardware credit market destabilizes. Here comes to where you're going to get a stock market crash. NVIDIA cannot afford that. Not when they're building the largest new financial asset class since mortgage-backed securities. So they're building it all right. They're building themselves right into a doom. That 5 trillion ain't gonna last for long, and they're gonna end up going bankrupt over it by playing this stupefied game just to make AI work. They don't need that much hardware to make AI work. If we can make AI work on our PCs, and they're not as big as a data center, they sure in the hell can do the same thing. So let's look at the sort of the bright side to it, or the bad side. I'll start with the bad side. This is why the next generation GeForce launch is postponed. Not delayed, postponed strategically. And that brings us into the fourth layer of the nonsense. NVIDIA is restructuring its entire roadmap behind closed doors. NVIDIA is reorganizing its architecture roadmap, like Rubin Ultra, and what do they say? Phenomen. It's I don't know if it's really going to sink in, but we'll see if it ever happens. These architectures are not gaming first. So let's get it real. The Rubin and the Rubin Ultra and, anything dealing with that is not for us. So it looks like the 60 series might be delayed even longer. Because these architectures are not gaming first, guys, just like I mentioned before. They're AI first. They're built for HBM4, NVLink 6.0, multi-die compute, AI inference, AI training, cloud deployment. Gaming is now a secondary branch of the architecture tree. Okay? It's the second branch. It's basically we're dangling here like we're on strings. Like when they fold and they crash, they're going to come back to us and say, help us, please. And they'll get to the point where they end up peeing their pants trying to get our attention again. You watch, you'll see it. So launching a new GeForce card right now would distract from the AI roadmap, pull resources away from hyperscaler contracts, complicate wafer allocation, undercut the financialization model, reduce margins, and disrupt NVIDIA's long-term strategy. NVIDIA is not going to risk that. So you have to think about it. So now we're going to jump into the fifth layer of what's going on. The market isn't ready for a new generation. This is the part gamers don't want to hear. And this is the truth. But how can you get around the truth, right? The market's not ready. And we keep asking the question, why isn't it ready? Prices are overinflated. Memory shortages keep going on and on and on because memory makers are not making chips for VRAM or making chips for, your system RAM. They're making HBM4. I mean, we might as well just get to the facts. Retail inventory is unstable. Mid-range GPUs are overpriced to high-end. Enthusiast GPUs are drying up in the market. AI hardware is consuming supply. And gamers are already frustrated up the wall. Yeah, try to build a new PC to do anything. No chance. You can with used parts, but that's not going to last much longer. The used market is going to dry up. That's going to be a really bad thing for us because once that dries up, they start overcharging for new prices or 3 times the amount for used. Nobody's going to pay that. Launching a new generation into this environment would be a total fucking disaster. Oop. Total disaster. Sorry about the F word. It's kind of aggravating me, as you guys know. NVIDIA knows this. Retailers know this. Partners know this, right? So they're holding back. So now we cut ourselves into the sixth layer of this nonsense. NVIDIA wants to stretch the 50 series life cycle. Yeah, and you heard me right. They want to stretch it. They don't want to put a super series out there. They want to stretch what they have. Even if they got to take a 5090 instead of it having all that VRAM, and get it down on 8 gigabytes of VRAM and still charge you $4,000 for it. Yeah, that's a lot of leg. I heard somebody talk about that, and that's nonsense. This is the quiet part of their strategy. By postponing the next generation, NVIDIA can sell 50 series cards longer. They can maintain higher margins. They can avoid price cuts. They can stabilize the collateral market. They can keep AI supply flowing. And they can prepare a bigger launch later. This is not incompetence. This is optimization in NVIDIA's eyes. So cutting ourselves down to the 7th layer of this whole nonsense. NVIDIA is waiting for the perfect moment, but who knows what the perfect moment's going to be. NVIDIA wants the next GeForce launch to be a clean break, a major architectural leap, a high margin product, a stable supply chain event, a synchronized release with AI hardware, and a moment where the market is hungry again, where we're paying more money. Right now, none of these conditions, they don't exist. So they wait. And here comes the emotional gut punch that we get. The future of gaming is being rewritten. This is the part that hits the hardest. For the first time ever, gaming is no longer the center of NVIDIA's universe. Guess what is? You guys can guess what it is. It's AI. Oh, don't think AMD's doing the same thing NVIDIA's doing. They're playing the same harsh games. I mean, Machine and I got done looking at prices for AMD's hardware, and it's going up too. So AMD's playing that same rough game when it comes to data centers. Right now, they're trying to push the gamers off to the side, just like NVIDIA is, and they're making a run for the data centers. They're making run for that data center. So AMD is just as bad as NVIDIA at this point. So you got to remember, gaming's built by AMD and NVIDIA, right? But AI is transforming these companies into something else, something bigger, something more powerful, something more financially entrenched. Okay? And the postponement of these next generation cards is the clearest sign yet that these companies are shifting their identity. If you guys haven't realized that by now. This is not just a delay. This is a pivot away from gaming and a pivot towards AI, a pivot towards financialization, a pivot towards a future where GPUs are not the consumer products anymore, but infrastructure is. So here's the last gut punch for you guys that these companies are doing. And you just don't know it yet until you wind up broke trying to buy their hardware. But these companies, their plot is bigger than just the GPUs. So when people ask why these companies are postponing next generation graphics cards, the answer isn't simple. It isn't technical. It isn't logistical. It's strategic. These companies are trying to protect a $500 billion financial model, which is going to come up into the $2 trillion model soon. So they're trying to stabilize collateral value, prioritize AI over gaming, restructure their architecture roadmap, managing global memory shortages. Don't you know NVIDIA and AMD are kind of brown nosing the memory chip makers? Stretching this current generation of AMD and NVIDIA's life cycle and waiting for the perfect moment to strike consumers with a hefty price, I would think. This is not a delay, guys. This is a calculated move in a much larger game. A game where GPUs aren't just hardware, they're assets, they're collateral, they're financial instruments. They're the backbone of the AI economy. I mean, does it get any better than that? And until this game stabilizes, these companies, they're just not launching nothing. And we have to get over it. Believe it or not, we have to get over it. So I want to know what you guys think about this. I gave you my thoughts about it. I want to know what you're thinking about it. Okay? Because the consumer, which is the gamer, the person that sits in their private home using a computer for their business, content creating, CAD work, and all this stuff, is now being devoted to something that really doesn't exist. They're building something that doesn't have a value. Look at the millions that the chat AI has been using, but never returning to these companies. And you got a lot of companies out there are sinking millions and millions and millions of dollars into something that's not even producing anything. All they're doing is they're stealing our information to train their chat, their AI bot. That's all they're doing. They're stealing our information and making $1 off of it. That's how they make their dollar, by stealing our information. So yeah, probably Dr. Blitz, you're probably right. I don't think this is AMD's time. I don't think this is NVIDIA's time. I think that if Intel, of all people, would have pulled their heads out of their butts, started producing graphics cards with better performance for cheaper price, and they started producing RAM sticks and VRAM chips for the community, they're going to make a killing. They're already talking about producing system RAM sticks. They're already talking about doing VRAM chips. Once they start in production and they get that market lowered, they're going to make a killing. AMD and NVIDIA are going to be over there riding the AI train. And when that dries up, Intel's going to take the whole market. That's my thought. If Intel takes the market. But that's up to them. They have to make that decision. Do they want a piece of this market? This market right here, the gaming market, could put them right on top. With the right talent and the right price, they could steal all AMD and NVIDIA's market. What do you think, Machine? Am I wrong about this? Machine?
Yes.
Do you think if Intel plays their cards right and um, produces system RAM and VRAM chips and all that, they start producing chips and graphics cards and stuff like that and start lowering the price on the market and go for the lowest price available, that they wouldn't take the market by storm?
I mean, AMD could do that as well. I mean, they have a better GPU market, but they're stuck in AI too. So I think Intel's going to go the same route. It's going to be all about profit, not about consumers.
So it's profit over people.
Yes, 100%.
That sucks.
Yes, it does.
That really sucks. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys really quick. I do have a problem with this eye right here. And the doctor thinks that I might have MS. So, that doesn't mean the show is going to stop. That means the show will continue regardless. So, I will press on and I will keep it going for sure. And don't forget about Kick, JJPB Kick, over there on Kick. I'm going to try to do a couple shows over there as well, a couple live streams over there, and build up slowly. I'm not making it my priority website that I use. YouTube's still going to be my priority site. And yes, we are changing the subject because I am done talking about NVIDIA and AMD. So, what's going to happen is Mr. Machine brought a good point up that with my older videos, I should put them into the members only kind of thing. This'll bar YouTube from trying to show my older videos instead of the new ones. So that's what I'm going to be working on too. So all my older videos that are within 1 year timeline are going to be in the members only thing. So if anybody wants to join the members only in the future, that's where all the older videos are going to go. And also too, the perks that we're probably going to start doing sooner or later. Early access videos. So basically, the members will start getting the videos before the public does. So we might start doing that too. Y'all can leave your thoughts on that. I think it's a good idea. Because this way, because YouTube's going to take and screw us again. So basically, I might as well just start working on the members only thing. Because it's going to be impossible for me to get full monetization. So if I work on the members only thing, that could work out too. That could help us progress forward and to get more subscribers. And also too, it helps out getting more PC parts for builds and everything else. Because, Machine, I'm sitting there thinking I only got $40 in my bank account, right? So basically, the members right now, they have to where they can do that that support thing. What do you call it? I forgot what that support thing's called. My brain is just rocked right now. So I'll tell you guys in a second. Super chats. That's what it is. Super chats. Yeah, my bad. I had to look it up. So, but it seems like we're losing numbers, guys. It seems like people are not really watching my videos anymore. It seems like politics have taken over the whole YouTube section, the news and everything else. People are just not really watching content creators like they used to. They're watching these big time news media and stuff like that. They're not really devoting any attention to the content creators, like watching the videos from beginning to end and stuff like that. Not even subscribing. I mean, I got a lot of people watching some videos for about 8 seconds, machine. So all I could do is keep pushing on and pushing forward and hope that in the future things will get brighter and better. You know, and I know a lot of people says that, the reason why you're not really getting views is because you don't have any B-roll in your videos. Yeah. They said that to me. They said that to me, machine. It's because I'm not adding in any B-roll to my videos, no pop-up B-roll. That
Right.
that me on my video alone is not interesting enough for them to watch. Oh, Darity, I'm not giving up. I'm just getting started. And a reminder, September the 6th will be my 4th year doing YouTube videos. 4 years. So I wonder if I hit the 4th year or the 5th year that I'll actually get hundreds of thousands of subscribers and they actually push me over the watch time hour limit. Because I can't do it alone. I gotta admit, it takes everybody to give me a hand to help me over that margin. Because if nobody's watching the videos within one year of today, back 1 year, I'm not getting credit for the older videos. I'm getting no credit for those videos that are over a year old or later. That's YouTube's rules. So I got to play at their rules. Sucks. Sucks I have to go through drastic measures to get everybody to start watching the videos.
Sometimes you got to play the game, though.
Yeah.
But the game's kind of rigged against you.
Yep. It's definitely rigged against me. There you go, Cyborg. Make sure you get your drinking snacks. Cyborg just put it out there for you. Hello, Mr. Cyborg. Good to see you.
Yep. Don't forget to sub to Jay's not sub, but follow his Kick account. Kick.
Yeah, don't forget about my Kick account, guys.
Yeah, he only needs 20 to start the process over there. Just 20 followers to start it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let's see. I tested my CPU under volt. I left your channel up all day and I let it rock to see if it freezes up. So I had you in mind. I do appreciate it there, Darity. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Tech YouTube is dying. We know that, Mr. Fake Frames, but I do what I can to make it work. Look, if the tech channels might try to die, we know what's going to happen. February the 1st, 2027. YouTube's raising the ante. They want you to have 8,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, which I do have 1,000 subscribers. I just need the watch hours. That's all I need is the watch hours. The more people watch, the more videos I'll start producing. How about that? I'll make a deal with you guys. I'll start paying more attention. I'll start dropping a couple videos a day for you. So it's up to you guys. You get more you guys watch, put watch time hours on that clock and get me towards that margin, the more videos I'm going to start putting out. So yeah, well, the thing is this. I got 1,000 subs, working for more. So each day I keep working towards more. Get a couple here, couple there, but still getting more. So everything is appreciated, and anything that anybody can do at this point in time to help is much appreciated. You have to look at it this way. If you're just watching the videos from beginning to end, right? It's not costing you anything but time. It's not costing you money. Because like Darity does, Darity will put it going for 12 hours. I got many folders that you can put on autopilot. You know, just as long as you don't watch everything in the folder twice, you watch it one time. If I get 100 people to watch 1 year worth of videos, that'll be well enough to put me over 5,000 watch hours. That right there alone. So I have enough videos. I have over 1,000 plus videos. I would have had more, but YouTube wanted me to take them down because they didn't like them. I had to erase over 300 videos from YouTube because YouTube didn't like because of the B-roll that was in there. So I took them out and I started again. So there it is. What do you think about that, Machine? Did you know about that?
No.
Yeah. YouTube had me take out a couple hundred videos because they didn't like the B-roll. Because they thought it was, how can you say it? A copyrighted content. But everybody's using it. Everybody's using it, and these were free B-rolls that were put out there. Everybody's using it, but YouTube wanted to come after me and said if I don't take them down, they're going to give me a copyright strike. But everybody else is using it. So you see where the fairness is going. So that's why I depend on my subscribers and my viewers to help us out, because YouTube's not helping us out. Not whatsoever. So I just look at it like I asked everybody for help, and you know, I'm getting to the 4th year of YouTube. I should be over at least 20,000 subscribers. At least. But as long as YouTube keeps suppressing my videos, in which they are, and nobody can tell me they're not because I'm watching, I can tell when they're suppressing them. Remember, I got 3 devices that I monitor all my videos on to make sure YouTube is posting them. And it seems like it's randomly being posted to different people, but not everybody that's subscribed to the channel is getting my videos or the live stream. Because I've already had 5 or 6 or 7 people complain to me about not being, and they said that I'm not being up to date with this. I said, I have nothing to do with YouTube. If you put on your notifications, which they did, they said they never get them from YouTube. I said the only way you can resolve it, go to my main channel, click on it, click on the video you want to see that just came up, and go from there. If you do that 2 or 3 times, YouTube will automatically re-register it that you want to watch that. So your notifications will come back up. So you have to re-register the fact of if you want to watch my videos or not. You have to do it on a couple of the videos so YouTube will automatically update it for your permission to watch my videos. So I know I had to do it a couple times. That's the only way I could watch, and monitor my videos to make sure that they're getting posted to all the subscribers that are on the channel. See, if you don't subscribe and you don't go through that little cycle, then you're never going to get your videos on time, because you have to be important enough to YouTube and their algorithm for you to actually get noticed. So anybody wants to disagree with me about that, then start your own channel and you'll see the kind of nonsense that I'm going through every day. Every day. So I'm not going to be stressed out. I'm just going to make the videos the way I make the videos. That machine, I'm not going to worry about it anymore, man. I'm going to pump my videos out. People want to watch them, that's up to them. If they don't, that's up to them too. If they want to put a little nasty remark on them, basically telling YouTube that they don't want my videos to be shown on their feed, then that's their business. It's because, and Mr. Fake Frames is right, if you didn't start early enough with YouTube, you wouldn't have had a big enough subscriber base for you to be noticed. Even though I started almost 4 years back, it's still not enough time. Now, the ones that are back about 10 years, they got a big enough subscriber base is because they're back then, 10 years back, there wasn't a COPA law. There wasn't this big thing about the kids back then. Everybody was able to watch. So, and then you got people whining and complaining about, your videos showing up in their feed and they really didn't want to watch it. Then, many people started to do that. And then YouTube says, well, we're going to put a restriction on it. We're going to put you in a bucket. And that's the bucket you're going to be in. So they're not putting it out to everybody anymore. They're putting you into a bucket. And if anybody wants to watch your videos in that bucket, that's up to them. So basically, being a content creator, you're screwed. So the people I have on my channel want to watch my videos. So I got over 1,000+ people on my channel that are subscribed that want to watch my videos. So if that doesn't make any sense for the ones that don't subscribe, then you're missing out, because the ones that do subscribe want to stay here. They want to see what I'm going to come up with next. They want to see what kind of information I'm going to pull out of my hat. I don't know, machine, do I have any information to pull out of my hat?
You have a lot of information in your head.
Yeah, I know, right? But everybody thinks I don't know what I'm talking about. They really do. They don't think I don't know what I'm talking about. Over doing this for 3 decades.
Yep.
I was about to say 3 centuries the way I'm feeling right now, but you know, I think everybody would take that into context. Dr. Blitz says, "You're the one. You're the only one." Well, maybe one day I'll be the one, but there's many channels out there that are just as good, even greater. But I just keep it real. Right, machine?
Mm-hmm.
I just keep it real.
Yep.
You want to listen to them give you half stories about how to install even system RAM into your motherboard, or you want to listen to the half stories of how to set things up, how do I get started on my PC. If you want to hear the halfsies, then you're more than happy to go to those channels. But if somebody asks me and says, "Hey Jay, can you make a video on a complete step out for how to build a PC, including the software?" I think I've done many of those, truthfully. So I had to help someone unbrick their GPU VBIOS today since they had a flash go wrong, since they had the GA 104 3060. How could they, why would they flash it in the first place? Truthfully, why would they flash it?
Yeah, what would that do? I'm curious.
By see
So
what,
it would change the BIOS to a 3060?
yeah, he said they
3060
try to
Ti?
reflash the BIOS to the 3060.
3060 Ti?
No, 3060 is what it looks like.
Yeah, but they went up to GA 106 instead of 104, so they went up one.
Yeah, like he's saying right there. They want to bypass the power limits.
Well, what is that going to do?
Give it higher power limits. That's if it's compatible. Some cards won't flash. Some cards will. You know, you just got to be able to have the right one that will allow you to do that kind of upgrading. Because if not, then you'll have to do it manually off of the PCB, and you have to do a capacitor bypass in order to get the power voltage to go a little bit higher and bypass the software. But doing that is ridiculous. You know, it would cost you paying almost $400 for a card that you're going to brick just doing it that one time. It would be cost effective to get something at the same price. Listen to what I have to say. Get another card at the same price, but get a higher wattage value. So that means get a better output for the same price. And the price of the 3060s right now are what, $400 machine? Am I wrong?
Nope.
So. Yeah, but okay, I understand what you're saying about the 3060 fake frames, but you have to understand something too. Why are you going to spend all that money to just upgrade the BIOS, the VBIOS in the graphics card, other than go get a better graphics card for the same price?
Do you have to pay for the BIOS update?
No, you can go on the Tech Power Up and get them.
So I'm just wondering. I've never seen anybody actually do it, but I mean, people do it. But I just wouldn't do that because, to me, without knowing that much about it, so grain of salt here. It's not you're bored, and so it's not designed to run those power limits.
It's people that love the enthusiast part of the whole PC world.
But aren't you boosting your GPU by doing it?
Well, you're throwing more heat at it. So you're stressing out your VRAM chips, and you're stressing out the GPU itself, the die itself. You know, you're putting more stress on the inductors, you know, your VRMs, the chips for your VRMs and stuff like that. So you're asking your GPU not to last longer. Basically, you're cutting cutting the life of your GPU.
Tricks 4080 files flash to mine. So how high can you go on the 36 without having issues with power?
So he went from 355, if I'm right, to 420.
No, that's on his 480, his 4080.
Yeah. But that's his choice because he knows how to do it.
Yeah, I just wondering how much more you could give the 3060 without having to worry about heat.
Truthfully, I wouldn't even screw with the 3060.
You've got one 8-pin, so you're limited there with power.
Yeah, you're only limited to 150 on that, and you're only limited to 75 on the PCIe lane.
So you can use 225.
Total, yeah. About that, yeah.
But then you're going to be heating up your 8-pin power.
You're gonna be putting too much load on the VRMs. You're gonna be putting too much load, and you're gonna be wanting to push more power into the GPU die, and it's gonna shorten the life of the GPU die because the heat from it. And believe it or not, if I'm looking at what he's talking about, let me get to that.
It's just interesting. How much extra performance will you get from doing that?
Look, we can talk about the 3060. Okay. Right in my hand all day long. Okay. If I wanted to change the VBIOS in this, I could. But why am I going to shorten the life on this card just to get another 5 FPS? It's ridiculous.
Is that all you would get from it?
Basically, yeah.
It doesn't make sense to do it.
No, it don't it? It doesn't make sense.
But I don't know anything about it. So, I don't know. I mean, if you know what you're doing, only a few percent at most.
That card's only going to give you the most out of it, 5%.
To do a manual overclock, and I don't know.
If I want to do a manual overclock with it, I could turn on MSI Afterburner, and I can bring it right to the maximum that way. But it's still going to put heat into that card. You know, if you really want to look at it, you don't need to change the VBIOS just to tell everybody, hey, I bricked my card. I mean, if I wanted to change the VBIOS in that, I can. It's not hard. But I want to keep that as stock as possible. I want to keep it original as possible. If I want to put an overclock on it, I can get that 5% by just using MSI Afterburner. I don't need to mess with the power profile that's built into the VBIOS. It's just ridiculous. You know, because it takes a lot of time to find the right BIOS that will work with that card specifically. And then if it doesn't work, then you get a brick until you go back in and reflash it and, put the original BIOS back in. Which I would make sure that I would take a copy of the original BIOS that was on there in the first place before I decide to flash anything. So
I'm still not understanding why you'd go through all that for a few percent.
It's not worth it, bro. That's the reason why I'm telling you that. It's not worth it.
If you drop one setting down, you can make that difference. Or you can use upscaling and you make the difference back up.
Bro, you can get better performance by undervolting your CPU and then overclocking your GPU.
It just doesn't make sense to me. But if you're an enthusiast and you're trying to get every ounce of performance out of everything, I guess that would make sense.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't risk my equipment for that. I wouldn't do it.
Not for a 60-second test. I wouldn't do that for. Why would I risk all my equipment for a 60-second test? You're sure the hell ain't going to be running that for 10, 12, 15, 16 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week. No, you're not. Because that thing will be putting out so much heat, it'll just be baking that silicon slowly, turning it into like a fry egg, and shrivel it up, and then it takes and shorts out, and guess what you're left with? A brick. So it's not worth trying to change the power profile of your GPU. Okay, it's not worth it. If you're an enthusiast and you know what you're doing, that's one thing. But if you're doing it to just try it and see if it really works, unless you know what you're doing, I wouldn't do it. I know what I'm doing. I can do it, but I'm not going to risk the GPU just for glory. Sorry, I'm not doing that. Especially for a couple percent, which is it's nowhere near needing. Because you got to remember, manufacturers already set the power profile to the maximum. When you stretch their legs a little bit further, that's when you're going to run into instability. Now, with NVIDIA, you might be able to get away with a little bit of it. AMD, that's another trick in itself.
Yeah, I was seeing that you get better performance by undervolting.
Yeah, AMD is more or less like an undervolt than an overclock.
What I see on the internet, but like I said, I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, NVIDIA is more or less like an overclock than an undervolt. But you can still do both on NVIDIA, but it's just AMD doesn't really like when you overclock it too hard. I already found that many of times with the 7600. So I would tell you like this. You don't need to kill your GPU for a couple FPS. It's not worth it. $76 today. Too hot for the 5080 GPU.
Well, I wonder what the hotspot's going to be at.
Well, I always tell everybody 10 to 15 over the actual. So it's going to be around 90. At least 90, 92, somewhere in there. AMD cards undervolt better since they draw the same amount of power, but the GPU core clock goes up with amperage. Yeah, I can agree to that. But like I said, to maintain the heat out of my PC and to maintain the heat away from the VRMs of the motherboard, to maintain the heat that's coming off of the chipset and everything else, I undervolt my CPU. Machine's got his undervolted, and how you doing on that machine?
It works great.
Do you see the difference between overclock and undervolt now?
Yeah, there's like a 5-10 C difference, and I don't see a performance hit.
There you go.
Yep. And even when I'm downloading shaders, it doesn't go above 70. But usually I'll be ramping 85.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm the same way. It
takes longer to load the shaders, but oh well. I can wait another 30 seconds.
Yeah, I would wait an extra few seconds to load the shaders.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. I would rather have it stay level. Anything below 70 or 60, I would rather want it to stay level there than to be pushing in 85s to 92 while loading shaders. So it makes more sense to have it between the 60s and 70s than the 80s and 90s. At least I know for a fact my CPU's not being killed. So, trust me, it's not hard to undervolt the CPU. It's not hard on your GPU neither, because the machine knows this. I don't undervolt and I don't overclock. I do neither. I just leave it as is. There's no sense in me having to do neither, because the GPU itself is already overclocked by the manufacturer. It's already overclocked 5% by the manufacturer. I don't need to do anything with the GPU. When they tell you it's an OC model, they give you a good 5% bump. Depending on, mine's got dual BIOS. I have a dual BIOS GPU. One, you can put it on the zero noise bullshit, or you can put it on the performance side, which mine's been on the performance side since the first day I got the GPU and plugged it into my PC. It's been on the overclock level ever since. It's never came off of that. So why do I need to overclock it any more than what it's needed? I don't. If you want a GPU that you don't have to mess with and you can leave it as is, then go get an overclocked model. Simple. Go get you a Founders Edition or go get you an overclock. I prefer the overclock model from Asus over getting the Founders Edition from Nvidia. I prefer it better. I found better performance on the dual BIOS graphics card I got right here from Asus. Cheers. And I'm still running the 4070. The 2-fan deal. I'm not complaining. I'm still rocking it. Everybody's got their happy feet running towards that 5090, paying $4,000 to $5,000. Shit. I saved myself $4,000 to $5,000 by not buying it. I would rather get a 50-50 sent by Mr. Machine, which is only a couple $100, than to get myself a 50-90.
How much is an extra? How much?
How much? How much, man? How much? What you got over there? What you dealing, man?
We're ordering pizza.
Oh, okay. How much?
We get CC's.
Oh, getting CC's. That's cool. Oh, you overclocked over undervolt? No. What I learned is I don't need all that heat in my PC. I really don't. I've shown this many a times. I have a thermometer. That's Fahrenheit. That's not Celsius. The room is 82. My room is 82. And I'll do it again for you. So, temperature in my PC case is 1.8 above ambient temperature. And that's on the CPU die. Let's see. GPU. $86.1. And that's in Fahrenheit, not Celsius. So if you think that's too hot, let me know. I think that's a pretty good temperature, especially in a closed-in case. So, what do you think, machine? I'm showing you the temperatures on the screen.
Yeah. Well, my thing is you don't run your cards heavy anyways. You don't even utilize all what the 4070 can do.
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, not how you play the games though, do you?
Yes, you got to remember, I don't turn off my background task.
Okay.
And
So
plus,
you
when I'm
plus settings and all that. So.
Well, you got to remember when I'm recording, okay, that uses up a little bit of GPU power, right? And CPU power on top of me playing the game at the same time. So I'm actually utilizing 100% of the GPU, probably 110% maybe. And I'm definitely utilizing 80% of the CPU. So utilizing that much, it still runs good. So
Sorry.
Steel Nomad is what jumped my GPU to 76C, not my regular games. Well, I think that's what ray trace intensive game. I think Steel Nomad.
I think it's just GPU, like raster. Still Nomad.
I thought it was ray tracing.
Not 100% sure with that. The ray traced one is the Speedway.
Yeah.
And Port Royal.
Port Royal is a monster, man.
Yeah, that's because of the ray trace.
Yeah, Port Royal is a real monster.
4K raster benchmark.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yo. I wish I would have gotten a 5080 instead of a 5070 Ti.
Hey, well, I tried to put in a code over there in Twitter X today. The hashtag RTX powers play
Hmm.
to see if I can win. No, I didn't win. I never had, after 3 decades, I have never won anything from any one of the manufacturers yet. It's because the manufacturers don't pay attention to small fries like me, I guess. But that's okay. They pay attention to dumbasses more than they would somebody that's more down to earth. You know what I mean, Machine?
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't get those people don't get free stuff anymore.
No, they got to be a complete kiss ass to get it. I learned a long time ago running many, many restaurants. Now, I'm not the kind of person that's going to go around puckering my lips up to make brown nose. No, doesn't happen with me. I'm too hard headed for that.
No, not you.
Oh, no, not me. Listen to you.
Oh, Frog Boy, but that's your fake frames. You might not know this, but that's Jay's favorite YouTuber.
No, that's your favorite, man. You're always talking about him.
He's pure entertainment. Pure. Here, I'm gonna run this 4 GB card, but I'm using a 9800X 3D. Yeah,
Yeah,
completely
okay.
unfair. Yeah, that's the CPU's running everything.
Yeah. I got me a 9900 X3D right now in my PC running my RTX, no, my GTX 1650 right here in my hand. Now, how you guys would not believe that. If I was running a 9950 X3D on this right here, you guys would lose your shit. You guys would have said I was totally, totally nuts. Because the CPU would bottleneck that GPU. And you guys know this. So why would I do that? So, and with the 5050, the RTX 5050 right here. If you haven't seen it before, I've already shown you guys the box. I've already got it plugged into this system here. So if you haven't seen it yet, there it is. So now you've seen it. It's still in this system. And I'm still testing it, believe it or not. I'm still testing it to see what it can do. It's been quite the interesting graphics card, I think. You know that machine? It's been quite interesting.
Yep.
I'm not running it to death to find out how I can make the graphics sweeter and, and how much VRAM I can use to kill it. I'm not doing that. I'm using a decent amount of VRAM. Some settings on some games I run medium high, some medium, some high settings, but I'm not killing it. It plays games well. I played Assassin's Creed Black Flag with no problem. I bet you they didn't go and look over there on the new website to see the next the next version of Havana that I did over there. I should have brought it here too. I didn't do that. Hopefully somebody would have gone over there and followed me over there on Kick. You know. Oh, really? Wow. And you know what? My favorite GPU right now is the RX 5500, the Dell Optiplex 5500. You guys would shoot me if I said that. Am I wrong, machine? Would they not shoot me if I said that?
Well, it depends on what you're playing.
Everybody knows that I love the 47 RTX 4070.
Yeah, I think you got that code's in your blood.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not a 4090, but it still uses the same high-end VRAM chips that the 4090 uses.
4090 performance. Impossible without AI.
Well, actually, it's actually one half of 4090 performance.
Is it?
Yes. It's one half of 4090 performance. So, because you got to remember, it uses one half of the same VRAM chips that 4090 uses, and the compute is almost what, one half? I could be wrong. It could be a little bit more, but I still say it's around half.
Yeah.
Bandwidth is about half. Everything's pretty much on the half.
Yeah.
Because if you weigh the two and you start dividing and you start going down the list, most of it is about half. And it still runs, it still gets the same max bandwidth. You know, when you go to overclock, it still reaches up to 3090 megahertz like the 4090 does. So
Yeah, the 4070 Super is only showing 5% now. It's at cargo.
yeah, I know. The 4070 is still the level one. Remember, the 4070 and the 4070 Super started at 16% difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's down to what, 5%? And believe it or not, the only thing that changed is the software. The card didn't change, the hardware didn't change, just the software. So what's different about the 4070 Super and the 4070? How come it can go from 16% down to 5?
I don't know.
Exactly.
5,888 versus. I can't remember. 7,168. It's quite a big jump for shader units.
Yeah, but my physical card didn't change from when I purchased it.
Yeah.
So you see the point, right? My physical card didn't change. No, my physical card didn't change. The software changed. You see the difference?
Yeah.
There's something in certain parts of the software that the 4070 Super doesn't like. But the 4070 likes it. So it kind of narrowed the gap because of the software. But the physical property of each card did not change. The testing can change. The operating system can change. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Even the operating system can change the values of a card. Even if you're running the same operating system. Who knows? Or the 4070 Super doesn't play nice with an X3D card. Maybe it doesn't play nice with X3D. Maybe an X series card runs better X series CPU runs better with, you know, the 4070 and the 4070 Super than it does with the 4090. 4090 could love X3D, which they devoted it on X3D in the first place. So you can see a big difference between X series and X3D series because of the L cache. Oh, I agree, Mr. Fake Frames. It does cause regressions, yes. That's what I was trying to explain. That it does, I mean, over time, if you use the same, now me, operating system in both of my PCs here, I have not changed that. They're running several amounts of years on the same operating system without a refresh. So, does that mean the operating system actually changes? It doesn't. Does what changes in a system is when the manufacturer makes that change. AMD just made a change to the chipset drivers to make um, to make your CPU and your GPU more effective. Somehow they kind of soup things up. So you got to remember, with drivers, it could advance your performance and they can take away your performance. They can stifle your performance or they can give it to you. They can take it away or they can give it to you through the drivers, through your DLL files. They can stifle it or they can give you the advantage. So it's not hard to figure out if these companies are holding your performance back, which they are, is they're only creeping it up a little bit till you get to the end of life for your components. And then once you reach to that point of end of life, that's when they give you the final push. You don't believe me? I've been doing this for many years, and I've seen how they do things. They 5% you to death. They 5% everything to death. So, you think NVIDIA gimped the 4070 Super because it was close to a 5070 in performance. That's why it has dropped in performance more than the 4070 since the memory bandwidth on both cards is the same. Probably. They could have turned off part of the compute in the driver update. They can do that too. They can control how much compute you use. They figured that out too. You know that machine?
Mm-hmm.
They can control your compute and how much you use and how much you don't use. Remember, they hold the keys. They hold the switches. You don't think that NVIDIA or AMD or any one of those companies can't give you a driver update that can tap right into your VBIOS? That they can't manually behind the scenes tap into your VBIOS and change settings that you don't know about? You think people are blinded to that? They have direct access to the VBIOS of your graphics card. They have to. If they want to make changes and upgrades and everything else, they have to have that access. You know it as well as I do. If we have access to run programs on Windows, they have access to automatically upload it and update your VBIOS without you even knowing it. They have to. They can't leave your VBIOS set at factory level. They have to upgrade it and make changes in order for the software to work on the graphics card. That's common sense. So, yes, and I do agree, they could have stifled the 4070 Super before the 5070 came out. And the balance between the 4070 and the 4070 Super was brought closer together because at the time of launch, both cards were at within $15 of each other. And at that time, it would have been a good idea to get a 4070 Super, but in the long run, it's not. Now we have to look at the fact of, are we going to see 60 series? Are we going to see a 50 series Super card? You guys know this as well as I do. They're going to prolong that all the way to 2030 if they have to. Because NVIDIA is already putting out cards for their Spark series. Do you really think they're actually going to be dealing with gaming? They've already passed the reins to AMD, and AMD's already passed the reins to Intel. Intel might pass the reins to CXMT. So what are we left with? We're left with garbage. While these companies are soaking up AI, we're left with gaming garbage. So in order for us to have better performance, now we're going to have to get more creative and figure out a way to use 2 GPUs, to get more creative when it comes to having more compute and more VRAM.
I think developers are going to just have to get better at what they do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the game developers are going to have to figure out how to make everything fit within a 8 to 16 gigabyte frame. Going to have to, or else nobody's going to buy their games because they won't run. No choice, because new tech's not coming out, so they can't base it off of the new stuff. They have to base it off of whatever's out there.
Well, Darity, I wouldn't kick yourself too much about a 4090, okay? I really wouldn't kick yourself too much on that.
Don't feel bad. I feel bad about not getting a 5080 when I had the chance for $1,000 too. So that thing's worth a lot.
Yeah. Do you think I feel bad I'm running a 4070? Come on, machine.
No.
I don't feel bad.
No.
I'm enjoying every bit of the gaming that see, you guys got to realize, back in the 80s, gaming was shit. Okay, gaming back then, you didn't have in the 80s, you didn't have graphics cards. You had these little wafer boards that you plug in there just for extra little VRAM. You know, you really didn't have what they call a graphics card back then. So what you get to play with is integrated graphics. So going from then to now, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not complaining. I have no complaints whatsoever. This right here, I have no regrets. I don't regret what I have. But seeing the past to now, I have no regrets. Trust me, back then, $2,000 for a gaming PC, is a drop in the bucket compared to what I have here. That's 50 times faster than what I had back then. For lower, way lower than 2000. Altogether, maybe less than $1,400. So I have no regrets. This system here was $600 cheaper than back in the 80s. Now, do you really think I'm going to complain? Nah. You guys shouldn't either. You should look at what you have compared to back then. You should be loving what you have. Seriously.
I mean, but, you know, I mean, my GT 1030 would be a phenomenal GPU back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't run a GT 1030 today. Like, that ain't going to work on most games.
No.
2 gigabytes of VRAM. There's a few that'll run it, but not many.
But you're 1060. That would be a difference.
1060? The 6 gigabyte one?
Yep.
Yeah, you can still run games with that. There's still games coming out with that's a minimum spec.
When you're running, when you didn't have much chance of a graphics card back then, and you only had 128 megabytes, not gigabytes, megabytes of system RAM to run your CPU and your integrated graphics at the same time. You want to talk about stuttery shit. You guys haven't seen nothing yet. That was a stuttery mess. So the only thing you could play on it was Windows card games. Until we got more creative, we figured out how to get a gigabyte of system RAM onto the system in order to run games a little bit more decent. So we did use a lot of creativity back then. Our DNA 5 will release before the 6000 series. What I think at this point. Yeah, I do agree with that. It probably will. I feel fine. I have a 4080, 5070 Ti, and 9070 XT. There you go. If you got the cards, then you ain't got nothing to worry about.
My son's running an RX 6600 right now. He's been doing it for 3 years with a 5600.
Yeah.
And he's been doing fine playing like games, but of course he doesn't care about the visual fidelity. He just wants to play.
Exactly.
So, it's been running great for him. He's definitely getting his money's worth. I got that card for him and it was $180. It's not a bad price for that card at all. He probably needs to repaste it.
Well, I don't think people's been watching the internet lately on pricing. Do you, Machine?
What? On pricing for what?
8 gigabyte cards. Let's talk about that a little bit. 5060 Ti, 8 gigabyte.
$500.
$500.
Yeah.
Now the 5060 Ti, 16 gigabyte, reaching between $800 and $1,000 or more.
Yeah, hey, why is that $1,000 card now? What the hell's going on?
Exactly.
What's going on?
Nobody's talking about it. They gotta
be using it for AI or something.
Probably. I know some people are getting 2 of them and putting them in on their PCs.
Yeah. But not anymore.
Well, if they've already got them, they've already got them. But yeah. I know some people are getting 2 and plugging it into their PCs and finding a way to bridge the 2 to make it for AI. You can bridge it under the software, but it's going to have a lot of latency doing it that way. Because if you don't have, the NVLink, it's a waste. It's really a waste. But you can split up the task between 2 graphics cards. You always can split up the task. So you got one running one task and the other one running the other task. So it's not hard to do it that way neither. So, but I just can't believe that. Could you imagine what the 5070 Ti is? How much it is now?
That's $1,200 or something.
It's probably more than that. If they're pushing the 5060 Ti up to those margins, that 5070 Ti is going to be pushed up even higher. It's going to be pushed up into the 5080 territory. Just guessing at this point. If you want a decent card for AI with a lot of VRAM, the V100 32 gigabyte is 600 USD. Why would I need it?
No, if somebody wanted it, he's.
Oh, yeah. I got you there.
Somebody wanted it, not you.
Isn't that card, if I remember, the A100, wasn't that like a $11,000 card? Wasn't that card $11,000 when it came out? I think I heard something about it. They said the Tesla A100 was $11,000 when it came out, and now it was reduced down to about $600 because it's server grade. Oh, it was the V100. Okay, I knew it was somewhere in there. It's supposed to have no connectors on it. It's supposed to be server grade, and at the time they were charging $11,000 for it. That's all I knew. And I was like, I wouldn't pay that for any card. At any given time, I don't care how much compute it had. Because it's useless to me. I mean, it is. It's totally useless. What do you think, Machine?
God, I don't know. I mean, it's too bad that those AI cards can't game.
Well, they can, but not as well as the actual gaming card.
Yeah, they will game, but it's just they're just not built for that.
They're not. No, I agree. They're not built for it.
Because the AMD 9700 like R or whatever, their version of it with 32 gigabytes of VRAM, if that could game and be about as strong as that 9070 XT, that would be a beast for $1,400.
Well, the 97, they have the 9700, which has double the amount of VRAM. Or VRAM.
It's a 97 like R or like an R97.
It's the Pro 9700.
Yeah.
It's a workstation card. Somebody tested it out. They said it's not as good as the 9070 XT. So I left it as that. Yeah, so.
I wonder if you could flash a BIOS on that one.
But would it really be worth it?
32 gigabytes of VRAM with the strength of a 9070 XT. It would be compelling.
Yeah, it could be possible that you could do it, but it's a blower style card. I mean.
Okay. That's the way they used to make them back in the late.
Yeah, but if I were to do it and change the VBIOS on it and, find a way to get the 9070 XT VBIOS on there with the right amount of power profile and stuff like that, I would end up having to change it to a 3-fan card or water block it, one or the other. If I had to make manual changes on the card itself and repurpose the the power stages, stuff like that. It doesn't seem like for the price of the card it's really worth it. I would just go with the 7900 XTX and wait for the new driver updates for it. If I want VRAM, for $1,000, it'd be worth more just to get the 7900 XTX, or get the 9070 XT, for a couple $100 less. So, AMD RDNA 4 has the ability to have the VBIOS modded. Yeah, AMD's good at that, but NVIDIA's not. Yeah, I'm quite sure of you would need a custom water block with that. But it is an idea, Mr. Fake Frames. It is an idea that if it can be done, and it's done.
I mean,
go ahead, machine.
the amount of money that you would spend to try to make it work, it wouldn't be worth it at that point.
No, because you would be
up water block. You gotta it doesn't make sense financially just to get 60 more gigabytes of VRAM.
No, because you'd be spending another $400, $500.
Yeah, you get two 9070 XTs by the time you're done doing all that. So
basically, yes.
It ain't worth it.
No, it ain't worth it. I would rather run two 9070 XTs and split the workload up than to run the 9700X. Not unless I was going to use it as server grade, but why? Yep, that's true. I do agree. Yeah, that's about the worth of it buying a used 4090. If you can find one that's decent at a decent price that you're not going to get ripped off on, yeah. I mean, with all those horror stories, I'm hearing that people are selling used 4090s and turn around that the GPU die it's just pasted in there. Yeah. I don't think I want to go that route. If I had back then the $1,600 for the card when it first came out, then yeah, it would have been worth it to me. But right now it's not, because I don't want to risk spending that kind of cash on something that's going to break down, which you never know when, because of the 12-volt 2x6. I would rather have a 4090 that's got at least 4 8-pin connectors other than that 12-volt 2x6. If you're buying a used GPU at a local meetup, no test, no buy. Yeah, true. I don't buy it. Look, I'll put it to you like this. I have a system already built in my car to plug in GPUs. See, because that's all a part of the project that I'm going to be doing. Is because in my car in the future, I'm going to be able to run 110 to 220 volts AC in my car. And I'm going to be able to pull at least 9,000 to 12,000 watts. So I can run anything I want. A full PC, the whole 900 yards. And I'm building it all in the car. Machine knows about this project. I just need 2 more things and the project's ready to go into production. I need 2 batteries that are 4,000 amps per battery. So that'll give me 8,000 amps. That's perfect amount of amperage that I need, because I'm only going to be pulling less than 800, 800. Well, no, 80 amp, 80 amps per hour, about 80 amps per hour, somewhere in there, for the project I'm doing. So yeah, I do agree. I can build. I have the equipment to build a home PC to where I can test graphics cards and all that nonsense. Yes, not a big deal. I can put a monitor in, hold 900 yards.
So I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Why can't those AI cards game? What's stopping that from happening?
Well, it's because you're passing the information through the PCIe lanes instead of plugging it in directly to your monitor. That it has to use special software to pass it through to you in order to achieve the VRAM chips on the card itself to use them for a performance gain. So it takes a little bit of strategy and know-how in order to get it to work. And you basically, if you wanted to take and utilize the VRAM on that card for your integrated graphics. I have yet to see that anybody do that. Which I was thinking about doing that and finding a way to channel it through the integrated graphics, but I don't think the integrated graphics could handle it. It wouldn't work anyway because the lanes aren't designed like that. And just like Mr. Prism just said right there, machine. He just told you that.
Okay. What do you say?
They don't have the ROPs or TMUs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's like a compute only kind of thing.
You could game with them, but you're not going to get anywhere near the performance, so you're wasting your money.
No, because they're only used for compute. They're not used for texture content.
Okay. That makes sense.
Strictly compute.
Okay.
AI compute.
Speaking of that, speaking of AI, I read something about AI is breaking out now, even if they're in confinement. They're breaking out on the World Wide Web and breaking into things.
Well, of course. You put a hamster in his cage, he's going to find a way out.
Yeah.
It's common sense.
Really smart hamster.
Yep.
A hamster with no morals.
Well, see, you have to understand too that if there's anything that can generate a signal from point A to point B, it's basically like if you have a cell phone next to your PC and you don't have, and get this, you don't have a Wi-Fi card or any kind of Wi-Fi capabilities in that PC. That PC can still generate and pick up a signal. It's called signal interference. It can still tap into a signal off of your phone without you knowing it, if it knows the frequency.
Maybe you can get into the flock cameras and destroy those things.
Jeez.
The flock cameras.
Yeah, I could imagine. I don't seem to have that problem with those flock cameras, so they can flock off, as far as I care.
They have one here. And I'm really tempted to just drive by it like 100 times in a row to
Don't.
see if I can get a police officer at my door.
You will, and that'll be something you don't want to regret, my friend.
And I'll be like, so what are you driving down the road for 100 times? I don't know. Is that against the law? But I wanted to drive down the road 100 times.
Remember they had that one dude sitting there talking about this lady. She drove back and forth from one town to the next, and they caught her on the flock camera. And there was
I want to make some money.
But there was another lady driving a different car. Both of them were driving Escalades. They're both two different color cars.
Yeah, I think they're both blondes.
Yeah.
But she had a camera in her car, so it proved that she was not guilty, obviously, that she was someplace else.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they broke into her. The cops arrested her at her house. I remember all that.
It's easy. It's an easy lawsuit. Money.
Oh, of course.
I want easy money. I'll spend a couple nights downtown for $500,000.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing: the cops, while the lady was still in jail, and they left her in jail for a couple days, they already picked up the actual suspect and had her in jail.
Yep.
How fucking stupid can you be?
AI is never wrong. They don't hallucinate or anything like that. AI is always correct. The officer said that I'm 100% sure that you did it. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, 100% sure.
You're 100% sure you got the
100%.
actual suspect in your jail, but you're 100% sure I did it.
Do you bank qualified immunity on that one?
You can make a whole movie on that.
Yep. So all she has to do is charge $10,000 per minute when she was incarcerated.
Oh yeah.
Millionaire. That's what I charge for my rights being violated.
Yeah. I got the 60-minute rule. For every 60 minutes goes by, that's $60,000. Yep. Now, and if that goes for 3 days, that's quite a few million, don't you think? So my fees, my pain and suffering and harassment and everything that you all did, by the time I got done, I'd be looking at least $120 million. So, let's just get it out there. What do you think, Machine? Does that work for you?
Yeah. I went off track there a little bit, talking about AI.
Yeah, I know, ain't that something? But that's still dealing with the same problem we're having with the 50 series. That's still dealing with the same problem we're having with the 50 series. It's AI, AI, AI. That's all you hear now is everybody talking about AI. They say artificial intelligence, I say bullshit. I say algorithm intelligence. That means man-made written. Now, when that starts evolving into its own entity, like a human, then it's going to become artificial. But until then,
it evolves. It learns on its own.
Not as good, bro. It's still stupid.
Well, yes. Yeah, it's not like it's never going to be human-like.
It's never gonna evolve to the level in my lifetime or yours to
Thank
even.
God.
Yeah, I know, right? To even see what the future is going to look like.
Man, I'm so happy I'm not going to be alive 25 years from now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe not even 20.
The only thing that's going to be alive are my videos. You never know. That might change too. They might find a way to kill my videos.
Yeah, AI will just steal all that information from you.
Yep, soak it up like a sponge. Let's see. Only thing AI is doing is making people able to do more than what they could before. True. So that, yeah, I do agree.
Some people.
Well, he's saying people are graduating from with using AI It just means that we're just getting dumber each day, which he's right. We are. We're going to start getting more stupid each day. The more we use AI, the more stupid we become.
Damn.
Because we don't have to use our thought process as much anymore. Because now we got a device that does it for us. A homegrown calculator. Am I wrong, machine? Tell me I'm wrong.
You want me to tell you you're wrong? I can do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, why not?
Just to do it.
Yeah, why not? Just to do it. Just tell me I'm wrong. Be done with it. So that's what it comes down to. And I want you guys to keep that thought in mind. Are we going to become more stupid in the next 10 years because of AI?
Yes.
I was going to tell them to save that for the next live stream, to give me the answer. Let them think about it.
I don't think anything is necessary.
Oh, I tried something at least. No, but I got something they could really think about. If you had your choice, would you use AI in your life or would you not use AI in your life? Don't answer that, machine.
Okay.
So you guys think about it. Leave your comments and what you think. Definitely after this live stream ends, you can leave your comments. Would you rather prefer AI in your daily life or would you not prefer it? But you'll have to comment on the video itself, not in the live stream, on the video itself.
We do AI girlfriends count?
Probably. Who knows, right? That's a good thought there, Mr. Fake Frame. That's a good thought. But anyway, guys, machine, I think it's about time we get out of here because I'm sure everybody wants us to go over there on Discord and go on voice chat. So I'm pretty sure that's where we're going to be heading.
Okay.
Anything you want to say to the community before we go?
Well, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Just like usual. Make sure you go over to the Kick and follow, please. For Jay.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But anyway, guys, like Mr. Machine says, don't forget about JJPB Kick on kick.com. You can follow us over there. And also, too, don't forget to subscribe here and help us out by watching the videos from beginning to end. Within today and a year back, within that time frame, anything more than that, they don't count those watch time hours. So keep it right in within 1 year time period. It would be appreciated. The more you watch, the more your help supporting the channel, which is appreciated. So we're going to go ahead and call it here for the evening. So we will see you guys next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. Central Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just to let you know. Not unless you live across seas, then it's a little bit different. Just got to look and see what times over here on Pacific Standard Time that meets in with your time, and I'm sure you'll figure it out. Sure, it's not a big deal. But anyway, guys, you all have a great evening, and guess what? We'll see you on the next video or live stream. Take care, be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.